Hello again. I got one more for you. Whoever wants to watch this, it's all going to work out. It's all going to work out. Here, let me clean this thing off. There we go. Well, that's not any better. That's not any better either. This little guy. Yeah, look, he helped clean it. I got to thinking, after talking about the insecurities thing and all that stuff, which I think was important for me to put out there and just talk about it. I could do it on a video, so it doesn't sound like I'm talking to myself. Sometimes that's how I work through it, saying it out loud. I feel like when I say things out loud and I hear myself say them, I either realize how dumb they sound and then I get it, or maybe it helped, just saying it out loud. And because I'm doing it here, I don't have to worry by a facial expression or somebody to interrupt me and tell me I'm wrong or any of that. It's just a safe place that if somebody's watching this, if they want to talk shit, I don't even get to hear it. So I can just freely speak my mind. And when I'm thinking it, usually I get interrupted with another thought, and that's probably my dark side. And that doesn't happen when I'm like doing this. But it's all gonna work out. It's all gonna work out. And I don't have to just sit here and be like, if I stay clean and I stay sober, which is true, it's just all gonna work out. Just keep going. It's all gonna work out. Like, even the shit that didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out, worked out. All that stress, all those fucking hours, all those fucking nights, losing sleep, stressing over it, holding it in, yelling at somebody because that's sitting in the back of my mind or in the middle of my chest, connected with like here, and then that feeling of like it's not indigestion, where it's just like, stirring up. All of that for however long it is with whatever problem it was, ended up working out. All those times that I got loaded and I was so afraid that something was going to go down and it didn't go down. All those times that I was clean and sober and I was worried about the shit that wasn't going to work out and it did work out. Here's the key for me. And maybe this will help whoever's watching this. There's something out there. This is my story. There's something out there that knows. It knows before I even say it. It knows in here and in here. It knows. And it's got my best interest at heart. And it wants me to be happy, healthy. It wants me to be joyful. It wants me to feel good. That's what its intention is. But somewhere down the line, I get in the way. Usually, always. I get in the fucking way. And I know better. But I don't. I think I do. I always think I know better. Like, no. I know this shit's gonna go down this way. Because, like, all I want to say is I told you so, or I told myself so, or I knew this was gonna happen like this. So what I do is I manifest it to not work out. Just so I can feel comfortable enough with not feeling uncomfortable that I will create it to not work out. I'll say the dumb shit. I'll text the dumb shit. All of that. That unknown is exactly the place that I always need to be? I don't know. I started like trying this I don't know thing a couple months ago. Like when it gets real hairy, I just say I don't know. Let me be in the season of I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I know it's going to work out. Even if it doesn't work out, that's it working out. And it's given me a lot of peace. Being able to find peace in the fucking storm is my choice. But I tend to not choose that with worry, anxiety, like those two things. What are they? The same thing? Fear. All three of them just like swarming. And what is the worst that could possibly happen? Or did you die? How about it's gonna be okay? And how about it's okay that it's not okay? Forget the like, what if it does or what if it doesn't? I mean, that's all a different fucking thing. It's just gonna work out. Sometimes it's gonna work itself out. Most of that shit is out of my control. I usually stress over all the things that are out of my control to a point of insanity. Sometimes to a point of where I can't sleep, I can't move, I'm paralyzed. It's so hard to embrace that, being paralyzed by a situation, person or whatever, that now I'm starting to get, but I'm starting to get to this place of serenity in the chaos. I once looked up the definition of serenity, and it's the absence of chaos. I don't know where I found that, but it's the absence of chaos. But see, how do I find serenity in the chaos? And if I had to grade what that is right now, where I've been able to find it in these last 5 or 6 months, it's in the trust that it's all going to work out. Like this is all supposed to be happening. Not intended by my higher power, God. This pain that I have is not really intended. I'm causing it with my doubt and with my worry. If I worry hard enough, the story gets even deeper. And I'm so grateful that I haven't had to make the amends to people where I'm like, I'm so sorry I said that. I don't know what I was thinking. When I did know what I was thinking, just lies. Usually if I want to text some bullshit, if I go into my notes and I just text it there and then I go back and read it, I wouldn't want to copy, paste, and send it. Just something to think about for anybody who fucks up with texts. I've done that like my whole life. Send some bullshit sideways, passive aggressive. Try doing that. That thing you want to text, because it's just digging at you and you feel like, oh, well, I gotta create boundaries here. I gotta speak my truth. And you want to say some fucking shit. Why don't you put it in your notes? Give it about 10 minutes. Go back and read it. See if you have the stones to copy, paste, and then send it. If it's real wild, you'll be so grateful you didn't send it. That shit saves my ass. We're not gonna get in trouble, and we're not gonna get beat down, and we're not gonna have conflict for what we think. Because that shit right there, if you're like me, is fucked up. My thinking is fucked up, and usually like the first 5 or 6 thoughts are just not good. They're not healthy, they're toxic, they're all of that. And ask yourself when you read it, would I want to receive that text? Would I want to receive that message, no matter what? And usually the answer is no. You can say a lot more by not saying anything than saying all of that fucking bad juju that you're about to fucking send to whoever. Because you had to keep it real. Because you had to fucking speak your truth. And usually our truth isn't even fucking our truth. It's some fucking made up story that came up in our head based on an insecurity or a fear that we thought had to be because of some past bullshit that we went through. Some past experience of how they treated us or what they did to us. And we're going to treat this person like they're them. And they're not. They're not. Nobody's the same. You know, when you think about like how, what if somebody's yelling at you for some shit that fucking this other guy did back, 10 years ago, you'd be like, whoa. Yet we're quick to do that shit to somebody else. One of the best experiences I've had so far in my life, is really want somebody bad enough that you're willing to change on the job training, on the job change. Because you ain't perfect, because I'm not perfect, and I know I want to change. People respect that much more than fucking up and then making amends and then having to explain why, when usually nobody gives a fuck about the explanation. All they care about is the action that was done. And the action, if you do it enough times, they're just going to be like, yo, I got to distance myself from this. If they're healthy enough, they will. Or you're just going to teach them how to be healthy enough. And then you were that person that came into their life to teach them how to be healthy enough to distance themselves from that type of behavior. Kudos. You helped show them how to defend themselves. But you ain't never going to come back in. And I've destroyed more relationships, more potential relationships with that shit than I can count. Friendships, not even like romantic partners, just fucking friendships. Where they're like, yo, I can't, right? When you get a person to a point where they're just like, I can't, they have now taken enough. Luckily enough, we can get around people that do it instantly and distance themselves from you, and you learn quickly. You don't get to go back. We learn the best from the people when we do those bad behaviors that are like, yo, I'm out. I can't handle this early. I mean, I think that's why ghosting is a thing. We want to look at ghosting as like, oh, it's fucked up the other person ghosted us. What were we doing to create that? Like real ass people that stay engaged and then you're like good friends with them for a long time, they don't ghost you. It's those people that like you've done this enough times to where they're like, I can't handle it. And they don't have the mental capacity to be able to tell you to fuck off the right way. So ghosting is much easier. And all you're doing is you're creating this thing where you're teaching a person how to ghost. I don't know. I'm learning as I go along here. But I do know this. If I focus on just my side of the street and I find enough bad behaviors and I want somebody bad enough, if you want something, or a person bad enough, you'll change right now. I know that I have that ability now. And it's the toughest thing to do, is go against the grain of what you are so used to doing your whole life. That is a tough lesson to learn. But it's a well worth one. So that's where I'm at. Today's been a day of reflection. You know, I was at a Toyota class, and I'm sitting in there with my head all big, realizing that, like, there's another reason I'm here, and it ain't just to learn a fucking RAV4. And I was able to get some really good perspectives, you know, and really be able to learn something about myself. And I think it has a lot to do with the season that I'm in. What a wonderful season. Sucks. Anyways, all right, I don't want to any longer. So hopefully that helps somebody out. Hopefully. Peace. Have a good day.